Alright, so I am playing on the test server of Super Auto Pets. There's a link down in the description if you want to play this, but there are a few balance changes to this version over the normal game. This will probably come out in the next couple weeks or so, but the main balance change that I'm showing off is the change to the Dirty Rat. So instead of spawning a 1-1 at the back, it now spawns the 1-1 at the front, which is pretty much just like a free unit to activate herd effects. So it can work pretty well with like kangaroo, camel, peacock, blowfish, hippo, snake. There's just a lot of possibilities, and I think it's a good change to the unit. But unfortunately, I don't think it's very useful. It's still not a very good unit, and I think it still needs to be buffed, although I still like the change, and it is a more fun unit. One thing I'd like to quickly mention is if you want to see me play Super Auto Pets live, you can check me out on Twitch. I'll put the link in description, so feel free to do that if you want. Here I decided to take the peacock, so the change to the peacock is now it gains 50% of its attack whenever it gets hurt, and when you level up it can do that multiple times. So it's actually a pretty interesting change as well. The only problem is that its stats are still pretty bad, and the herd effect, you need to scale the peacock in order for the herd effect to give a lot of attack, and most of the time you're not going to survive 2 or 3 hits in the later game anyway, and eventually if you get to max stats, then of course the ability does nothing. Which is kind of the problem with herd effects in general in late game, is that you don't really get multiple uses out of them, and when stats are already pretty much maxed, then they have no effect. But here you can see I got the Dirty Rat, I got an early camel, which is exactly what I wanted to see. That's never the case in the normal game, but here I feel like camel and kangaroo are usually a pretty good combo for the Dirty Rat. In the normal game, it's not exactly great. It's one of those beginner builds that you might see a lot from newer players, but it doesn't actually work out super well, just because the camel, it dies in one hit. Its stats are terrible, and I really don't think, I think it should be buffed. It's one of the worst units in the game. Here you can see it's working out, right? It seems okay in these first few rounds, but we haven't even unlocked tier 3s yet, so I guess that's why it was working. And now I'm just hoping to find a kangaroo, more peacocks, and more camels, and more dirty rats. And I decided to give the dirty rat melon armor because I figured that's going to be my tanky unit, and I just want to buff the dirty rat as much as possible. Early deer, usually really strong. The extra splash attack will probably kill another unit, and sometimes you even get 2 attacks off with the splash attack, and that just can destroy people. But here, it didn't actually do a ton, and I think, yeah, it looks like we draw this one. I try not to spoil the actual outcomes of the matches. It's okay. I don't even really remember what happens. But yeah, so we got the camel, we got the kangaroo. Ideally, you get level 2 dirty rat, and the problem is, I think the main problem with dirty rat is that you have to be able to kill the front 2 units with the dirty rat in order to spawn the 2 dirty rats. And that's actually really hard to do sometimes, especially since with this build you have 3 units that are just not going to be scaling, and so it's really hard to get good stats on these units, especially the dirty rat. I don't know how I'm supposed to scale it besides a monkey or maybe snails, but snails are also something that's changed in this patch. It no longer gives +2/+1, it only gives +1/+1. This is going to be a huge change to the 1v1 meta, since snails were a huge part of that. But in the normal game, I guess snails aren't really used too frequently, I think, and the fact that they only give +1/+1 means they're pretty bad, to be honest. Here you can see the thing spawns second, which is kind of weird. I figured if they're gonna make it work, it should always spawn first. If they have a fly, it also spawns the fly before it spawns the dirty rat, so it kind of just completely ruins your plans if you're trying to go with the dirty rat build. But I don't know, maybe they don't want to make dirty rat actually broken so that it spawns instead of flies. That would make it really good. And I don't know if they actually want that, since it is a tier 2. Wow, look at that, I got a follow. I wasn't even streaming. Wait, what? That's crazy. Okay, so it seems good, right? But then we only spawn 1 dirty rat, and even though the kangaroo's level 2, we still draw there. We're getting +4/+4 and then +1/+2 from the camel from the dirty rat, so it's pretty good stats. You can see I actually played the same person twice in a row there. That happens a lot on the test server because there's a lot less players, so you also end up playing the same person kind of over and over. But the like, good news is, I guess it's good practice because the people in the test server are usually pretty good at the game. I would say winning an arena on the test server is much harder than in the original game because the people who care about, like, trying out the new stuff, the new balance changes, they definitely are more of the serious players. But this peacock fell off so fast, it's just getting one shot every single time. And here we got the kangaroo with the tiger and the camel. And see, there I faced the same person again, I think. I actually did win that one round. And I got a snake, which is pretty interesting. I could think about replacing the kangaroo with the snake. Honestly, it might have been the right play, just because kangaroo's ability is not super good late game. It's actually quite bad, because you only getting, again, like 1 or 2 uses out of it. Even if I can somehow kill 2 things, which is a miracle with my front team, it's just like, how much stats am I getting? It's a level 2 camel and a level 2 kangaroo. So ideally I'd be getting +4, +8, and then I'd be getting like +4, +4 twice, plus the tiger. That's a lot of math now that I think about it. Why did I try to do that on the spot? So the peacock has fallen off so fast. I have to go for kind of the Hail Mary play of just like, please kill something, Scorpion. And then like hopefully the melon dirty rat can trade with something else, so it actually spawns the both of them. And it seems like a decent team, right? They had a 4 squad, which means we do get both the summons. And look at that, we got a 38-34, and we still lose. Would you look at that? The camo kangaroo just did not work, and I think this is a great example of just how bad this build is. I've tried this many times, and I still have not gotten a single 10 win with this strategy. So unfortunately, Dirty Rat is still really bad. But anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.